Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Connor, and today I have a review for you guys on the Rolex Explorer 1. This is the 214270 2019 model. I'm going to go over the specifics of this watch as well as my first impressions and the things that I love about it. All right, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so before I begin unboxing this, I just want to tell you guys that the retail cost of this watch was $6,550, which makes it considered an entry-level watch, okay? And then here is this green thing. You guys are probably wondering, what is this? This is actually the receipt from Hinghwa Li, alright? It has some of my personal information on it, so I'm not really going to take it out and show you guys all the details, but this is the receipt from an authorized dealer. And then this is the box. Obviously this white part is just going to slide off like that. Boom. And then the beautiful Rolex box. All of them look the same pretty much, but one of the things that separates them, depending on the model of the Rolex that you're getting, is they have a small, medium, large, and extra large box. Depending on the base size, they're gonna go from a smaller watch to a bigger watch. I believe that this is the large size watch. I know it's not the extra large, but I believe it's the large or maybe the medium. And then you guys can just take this off right here, and it's just going to have this. Mainly this sheet right here is to protect the gold crown, which you can see right here. Gold crown, you don't want that to get scratched up at all. You can see it still looks very clean, as well as the rest of the box. I'm just going to take that out. And yeah, obviously it says Rolex right here. White, nothing really special on here once you take this green part out. And then you can see the gold crown looks pretty perfect. Show you guys the box. And then yeah, you guys can just see the bottom right here. And then let's get right into it. So here is the Explorer 1. You guys can see that it says Rolex right here. Before I take this watch out, I just want to show you guys the paperwork that comes with it when you buy a Rolex watch. So just take it out and set this to the side for 1 second. You guys can see that here they're going to give you this little folder that's going to have the warranty. This is the warranty service card, as well as the actual the specific watch. So this is the Explorer, and you guys can see, I'm just going to run through it super quickly. It just has some information about like how to wind it, how deep you can go with this watch underwater, because if you guys don't know, which you guys probably should, this is considered a sports model, which means it's made for people to go in the water with it and go through all their daily activities without having to take this watch off. So after we get past that, all that's left in here is the card. I don't know if I'm supposed to show you guys the rest of this, but I'll just show you guys the model number 214270, and it's going to have the name of the owner as well as the date it was purchased, and the rest of the details. If it's special, if it's like a special model or anything, they'll add it to the bottom. As you can see, black 3 Arabic numerals, so that's all they added right there. And then yeah, let's get into the actual watch. So taking it out right here, you guys can see that it still has this protector on it. I've worn it a couple times. It's not going to look perfect, but it does have that protector when you buy it, as well as the extra links if you get them sized. Make sure that you guys take care of these if you guys are taking off links, because these go for like $250 each. So you do not want to lose those. As well as the tag right here. This will come attached to it, as well as this right here, just showing that you got a new watch from an authorized dealer. And yeah, obviously you guys probably know that those come with every single Rolex that you get. And let me just set the box to the side so we can get into the actual watch. So like I said, I'm going to try to give you guys the best lighting as possible. This little protector right here is going to protect the case of the watch, because obviously you don't want this part to get scratched up. But they don't have a protector on here because this is actually a sapphire crystal, which makes it really hard to scratch. It's a very solid surface. And then getting into the bracelet, it is an Oyster steel bracelet, and this is, and before I get into the bracelet, I just want to go over the other specifics of this watch. So the case of this watch, meaning this part right here, is an Oyster steel, and the clasp right here is also an Oyster steel, as well as the bracelet. And this is the Oyster steel bracelet where you can open it up right here and you can adjust by even more sizing. So let's say that it's like a hot day or something and your wrist expands a little bit. You're able to, right here, you're able to slide this up, click it, and adjust it by just little movements. There's 3 different holes right here. So if you have if you have the links that you're not going to use removed and you just want to adjust it by a tiny bit, like I'm talking to the point where your wrist just expanded a little bit, you're able to slide it up or slide it down depending on if you want it tighter or looser. But closing this up is very simple. You're just going to click it right here and then click this part over it. And this is probably my favorite bracelet out of any Rolex. It is very clean, very solid, and very comfortable. This bracelet fits perfectly, and even though it's like it's a steel bracelet, it still feels like it just fits perfectly. There's nothing you really have to worry about there. It's one of the most comfortable Rolex bracelets that you'll possibly get. And then getting into the power reserve of this watch, I just want to show you guys all the specifics before I get into the things that I notice and that I love about this watch. It has a 48-hour power reserve. So that doesn't mean that it loses time after 48 hours. What that means is that it has 48 hours where if you're not wearing the watch, it'll keep the time and it'll keep running perfectly. All right. The movement is a perpetual caliber 3132 and it is a mechanical self-winding watch. Okay. And then it is waterproof up to 100 meters, as you can probably see on the bottom. Hopefully you guys can see that. Or 330 feet. So this is a watch that you'll want to swim with, but compared to the Submariner, that is a watch that you would want to dive with. That is a scuba watch. That is a watch that you can go 1,000 feet under and still keep the time and it won't get in. But when you guys are getting a new watch, if you guys are really immature to these, or amateur I mean, make sure that this is really tight when you go underwater, the crown, because that's where the water is going to come in and that's where you're going to start to see the bubbles and realize that you just broke your Rolex and or that you're gonna have to pay thousands of dollars to fix it. But getting into this part, getting into the actual dial of the watch, as you can see, the previous model of this Explorer, the one that was, I believe it's 16 when they started to make the adjustment, they released this as long as the new Air King, and what they did was they kept pretty much everything the same with the Explorer, except they made the 3, 6, and 9 loomed. But the 3, 6, and the 9 were actually a white gold, which made it so that you could not really see it. So when it gets dark out, you're not able to really see the loom right now because it's light, but when it gets dark out, it really has like this soft glow to it that you're able to see in the dark, but you weren't able to see the 3, 6, and the 9. Obviously, you can still tell the time because of the lines, but some people have a preference of being able to see the full face of the watch. So that's a plus, and that's something that I really like because not a lot of Rolexes have that, except for like the Submariner, for example, but a lot of them are not fully loomed just like this watch. So now that we've gotten into most of the specifics of the watch, I just want to tell you guys the things that I noticed wearing this watch that I really liked. Something that I really liked and that I'd like to begin with is that you can really dress this watch up or down. So let me just put it on for you guys so you can see. I'm just wearing a white shirt right now. Very casual outfit. And just putting this on right now, it still looks very clean. So like I said, just put it on, click. It still looks very clean and it can pretty much go with this fine. But if I was wearing something a little bit more formal, maybe like a suit, you can't really say that this would look bad in it. It looks very solid and it's something very versatile, and which brings me into the next point, that it's an entry-level watch. So if you're someone who can only afford to get one Rolex or one watch, this is almost the perfect watch to get because it's something that's an entry level when it comes to the price, $65.50, and it's something that's very versatile. So you don't need to get a watch that you're going to wear when you're more casual and a watch that you're going to wear when you're more formal. This is one that you can wear with either. And something else that I like, this is my third plus of this watch, is that it is fully loomed. I really like that. I have not came across someone that dislikes that, and I feel like that's something that's going to make the valuation of this watch go up in the future. Okay, compared to the older one, I see that one and it isn't even selling for retail right now. Okay, it's selling for close to like 5.7 to like 6.1 maybe. It's selling for that range, but this one is staying around 6.7 to more like 7.25. This one already came above retail cost, and I see it going up a lot more considering that there aren't too many watches by Rolex that are fully loomed separate from the Submariners. All right, so overall, my final verdict to this watch is that I am very happy with it, no regrets. I see myself making money in the future off of it when I decide to sell it, and so I would give it a 4.9 out of 5 stars. The only reason why it is not a 5 out of 5 stars is because I guess you could say it isn't the most like standout watch. Like, it's not one that everyone's gonna notice, hey, that's a Rolex, such as a Submariner or a GMT. When you see those, you know, hey, that guy has a Rolex. But this one, for the person that doesn't really know anything about watches, seeing it from a distance, they probably won't be able to tell that it comes with the price tag that it did. So you don't always need to show off, you don't always need to look like you spent a lot of money on your stuff, but that's just my only negative, which leaves my final verdict at a 4.9 out of 5, all right? So let me know what you guys think of this watch. Do you guys think it's better than the previous version? How would you compare it to Submariners? Just let me know down in the comments, and also leave me with some suggestions of videos that you guys want to see, and I appreciate you guys watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.